Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day in the central Okanagan, 18 degrees under blue skies and a few clouds at 4 p.m. I'm Josh Duncan, and this is what the Colona Now newsroom is following today. Kelowna is looking to nearly triple the number of waterfront parks that will allow for open alcohol consumption moving forward. Last year saw the city go ahead with a successful pilot program that allowed people to enjoy an adult beverage legally at 3 parks. City Council will be asked on Monday to approve the expansion of the program to include 8 waterfront parks, all the way from Sutherland Bay Park to Cedar Creek Park. It would also mark the start of the program being a permanent feature of Kelowna summers, lasting from mid-May to mid-October. City staff reported that last year's pilot was a successful one, with less calls for police service at all 3 beaches involved. A downtown Colona coffee shop appears to have mysteriously shut its doors for good. It was business as usual for Black Sheep Coffee Bar just a couple of days ago, but now the front doors have been locked and all the business's furniture has been cleared out. The Google listing for the coffee shop says permanently closed as of today, and their Facebook page has been deactivated. Calls to Black Sheep went unreturned, but if they are in fact closed for good, it comes almost exactly a year after Alan and Angela Patterson opened up the shop on Bernard Avenue. Spring is in the air and summer is not far off, which means Kelowna is about to kick off its annual road renewal program. There will be 14 stretches of road spanning 21 kilometers that are resurfaced and refreshed over the coming months. The annual program will see around $5 million invested in it this year, with all the work expected to finish up by the end of September. Some of the bigger name roads that will see crews working on them this summer include Birch, Bernard, Springfield, Sutherland, Richter, Gordon, and Glenmore. The fundraising numbers are in, and the BC NDP is leading the way with just over $1.1 million raised in the first quarter of 2024. BC United, the official opposition, brought in around $830,000, although it doesn't seem to be helping as they slide down the polls. That slide largely in part to a surge in popularity from the BC Conservatives, who raised just over $380,000 in the first 3 months of the year. The BC Greens brought up the rear for the 4 big-name parties, receiving $214,000. The provincial election is set to happen on or before October 19th. If you're looking for an adventure this summer, a new type of wine tour out of Naramata may be right up your alley. A new offering called the Sustainable Sip and Anchor Wine and Sailing Adventure is exactly what it sounds like, a wine tour involving a 46-foot sailing yacht in the South Okanagan. It mixes together a Naramata wine tour offered up in a Tesla Model Y, which is followed by an afternoon on Okanagan Lake aboard the sailing yacht. You'll get lunch on board and also be able to sip wine from any of the bottles you may have bought during the tour. You'll then get picked up at 4 p.m. in the Tesla for another round of wine tasting, completing what will truly be an Okanagan day of enjoyment. And finally, we're wrapping up in sports with some Junior B KIJHL news. The Kelowna Chiefs have been sold, but unlike the 2 other Okanagan KIJHL teams sold this spring, they're not going anywhere. The league has approved the sale of the local junior hockey team to Darren Timchishan, a former junior hockey player himself. Timchishan played for the Kelowna Spartans in the BCJHL in the early 90s before spending 4 years playing university hockey in the United States. He's already begun his search for a new coach and GM and said announcements regarding the 2024-25 season will be made in the coming weeks. You can read more about those stories and plenty others over at KelonaNow.com. Thanks as always for tuning in to our live news update this afternoon, and have yourself a wonderful evening.